Hey. So, this was asked of me a few different times in various different ways. Sorry, I hate that fucking glare of the glasses. Um, I hate the divisiveness of politics. Hate it. However, I love discussing current events and civics. Is a good way of putting it, as opposed to politics. I'm very much a fan of discussing how uh, certain things stand and how we can improve things. But the minute the word politics comes in, it becomes left or right or up or down, black or white, yes or no. It's too fucking divisive. So, uh, real quickly, let's start with this here. Yeah. Oops. We're going to go with this one. Yeah. Now, this is a political compass test. Now, left and right, those have changed. In fact, when you look at 2016, Donald Trump is further left than Hillary Clinton, Gary Johnson being the furthest right. 2020, we have Trump slightly farther right than Biden. Now, this is a bit hard to go by because Biden hasn't actually said anything on his stance. When we look back at the 2012 election, and essentially they were all basically the same, with an exception of Ron Paul. I mean, the difference between them all was extremely minimal. And all the way back to 2008. And again, generally speaking. Now, there's a huge difference between the see, fucked up on that one. I wasn't showing anything other than just the yeah, gotcha. So yes, this is going by international, worldwide standards where left and right don't necessarily mean the same thing everywhere. Generally, the way I would try to look at it is, all right, we're going to look at the UK as an example, right? Liberal Democrats are right compared to as you would get in, say, Scotland. Scottish National Party right here. They're very far left. Now, granted, I believe this would change since the Scottish National Party wants to lock you up for jokes. They'd be more on the authoritarian side. Now, that's it for explaining all that. I would also just like to say that this is how they interpret my answer to questions that are not. I'm assuming people will interpret the questions different ways. And there is a bit of bias in ourselves. So there's that as well. That being said, this is a widely respected test. And how long have I gone on? 5 whole minutes. So, let's jump into it. All right, a few propositions to start with. How you see the country and the world. If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I disagree. I disagree with the way that's worded. First of all, one, you're assuming globalism is inevitable. And also, the interests of humanity, we all have widely differing interests. So no, you cannot get one central government to rule over all the tribes of Afghanistan because different desires, different interests. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I very much strongly disagree with that. I don't even support my proposed political party. Take a politician who I vote for and support. I'll be the first one to admonish them when they fuck up. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. No, that's extremely ignorant. You don't choose various things, but you can be proud of something. Being proud of your country helps because it makes you want to be part of it. It makes you want to improve it. It makes you want to protect it. It makes you want to prevent it from turning into something bad. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. This is so horribly fucking worded. Let me see. This is where I get canceled. There are differences among the races. To say there isn't is asinine and ignorant and naive. Prime example, you cannot give the same medication to certain people because of pigmentation in the skin, topical steroids or whatnot. Sickle cell anemia is an evolved trait that helps fight against malaria. That's almost like a superpower in some areas. People of certain races have certain bone structure because of blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Superior? No. All races have qualities that slightly separate us, but not in any meaningful ways. I don't believe there is any superiority. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Wouldn't say friend, but bank on everyone being greedy and selfish. If your interests and desires line up so that you can both benefit from something, then they will work with you not to benefit you, but to benefit themselves. So that's where I stand on that. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Yes. Germany is compromised by Russia. They owe them their energy source. The Philippines are subservient to China. The UK for a while was subservient to the United States. The United States was subservient to, and on and on and on. So international law No. What's justified is justice is justice. International law has shit to do with it. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I would say disinformation. Social media is toxic. People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. Yes. Yes, I strongly agree with that. Poor people all around the world generally agree on what they need, what they want, and what they care about. They care about things that are more internal, smaller circle. Whereas the super wealthy are more interested in globalism because their circle is bigger. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I'm going to disagree slightly. Controlling inflation is nice, but controlling inflation does not control employment rates at all. But if you can make sure people are employed, right? Employment rates do have some mild effect on inflation. Corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment. They require regulation. Yes, I agree. Regulation, yes. Incentivation, more so. There's always ways to get around regulation, but incentivizing doing the right thing, my thoughts. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. You have to protect us from corporations. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. No, I strongly disagree. I think it's a fucking good thing. The simple fact that we are clearly, in this country, wealthy enough to buy resources that are basically free. Yeah, I will never shit on the nouveau riche. As long as their needs are being met. Yeah. Bottled water means fucking jobs, status symbols, and I do not give tap water to my animals. I had issues in the horrible, wretched state of Georgia, where I lost pets. They ended up having an E. coli issue with the water. Didn't get noticed in time, and lost some loved family members. Land shouldn't be to be bought and sold. If you cannot buy or sell land, then it's not yours. And if it's not yours, then anyone can have it. Anyone can take it. You will never have a place of your own. Many personal fortunes are made by late money and contribute to nothing to their society. Yeah, it's regrettable. But it's like the like to make sure people say racist things. I'd love to wave a mask at the expense of protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Well, yeah. Yes, it is sometimes necessary. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Yes, that's the only responsibility of a company, is to make profit. The reason why I don't strongly agree is I believe they should make profit. They should fill their service to their customers. The rich are too highly taxed. At times, yes, in some states, yes. Flat tax is completely stupid. I'm sorry, on paper it seems great, but the top 10% pay taxes. So you make a flat tax, then everyone's going to have to pay like 80% to make up for it. It's not going to happen. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Yes. Within reason. So here's my thoughts on that one. Canada's healthcare system has failed for a lot of people. There's pay clinics opening up, which states to get treatment. Source. It is a good and a service kind of rolled into one, right? You have to allow doctors to sell their services. Now, we need some sort of regulation in place so that everyone can get decent health care, right? But to say that everyone gets the same universal, that crushes progress. You will either end up like with Canada, where treatment to go around, long waiting lists, you get a blood clot, and simple blood clot leads to loss of a limb. That's just so. Yeah, I do agree that as long as everyone gets good, at least everyone should get first world health care. And yes, allowing the super wealthy to have access to this and that just creates, it incentivizes greed. So yeah, higher standards or access to higher standards, yes. But everyone should have access to good health care. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. No, I don't believe we should penalize Twitter or Facebook or CNN. I do believe that we should not give businesses protection and help them fuck over our people. Take away 230 protection from Twitter and Facebook. They are clearly misleading and lying. So, yeah, we should. I'm not saying we should censor them. I'm just saying we should stop protecting them from defamation. When they pull this shit, like shutting down the New York Post for an article that is completely reasonable, then they should be liable to the rules and regulations. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Yes, I strongly agree with that. You have to be there to bust up the trusts. You have to. No way around it. My apologies for my flatulation. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. I disagree. I don't like the government forcing someone to give birth. I don't like murder. It's a very touchy subject. I think the reasonable thing to do is put a limit on, like, say, 20 weeks at a federal level, and then allow every state to determine up to 20 weeks when they will cut it off. Maybe there should be a bottom number of 10 weeks. I think allowing states to determine is a good thing. All authority should be questioned. Yes. Yes. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Sure, somewhat. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. I agree. Painfully, I agree. I love museums. I love theaters, and I am okay with some protection. Maybe have school tax go towards that. I don't know. Clearly giving huge tax write-offs to people who will donate is a good thing. Perhaps a lottery of sorts, making it easier for these important things, important cultural businesses to survive. Yes. But taxpayers? Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Schools? No, I'm going to strongly disagree with that. I think a school's job is to educate you and prepare you to be a citizen and a worker. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep their own kind. No, that's horrible. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children, yes. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Yes. Strongly agree. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. It should not be a criminal offense. The prime function of schooling to be equip the future generation to find jobs. Yes, and to be citizens. Civics is extremely important. Jobs are fucking schools are supposed to prepare our children to become adults, not to fucking control them, not to brainwash them into fucking bullshit. People with serious inheritable disability should not be allowed to reproduce. I strongly disagree. I don't believe that your rights are dependent upon your health. Sorry. Most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. No. I think it's important, but no. I think the most important thing for children to learn would be that for every action, there is a reaction. There are consequences for things you do. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. Sure. Yeah, but let's not pretend all cultures are equal. They're not. Cultures have their strengths and their weaknesses. But, yeah. Some civilizations are more advanced than others. How's that? Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Right. That's obvious. When you are troubled, it is better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Well, I believe it's different for every person. I sometimes have a tendency of overthinking things, but to completely ignore a situation means there's no resolution. So I'm going to slightly disagree. First generation immigrants can never fully integrate within their new country. I strongly disagree. Not going to name last names, but Ronaldo, his parents, immigrants to the United States. And he, American as fuck. America, fuck yeah. And to be fair, his father, a decorated veteran of the United States military. Yeah. With some countries, I'd say no. But I'm going to speak for my country. Yes. You can become an American without being born here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Melania Trump, yeah. To be American just means you accept the Constitution. And yes, you learn the language. Sorry. What's good for most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Strongly disagree. No. No broadcasting institution, no matter how independent its contact, should receive public funding. I agree now. I would have disagreed with that in the past, but now I strongly agree that they should not get funding. I'm sorry, but the NPR making biased political statements, or the BBC making biased political statements, is wrong. Fucking wrong. The news should present the news. Opinions should present opinions. You should not have editorials on NPR. If you are publicly funded, then you should shut the fuck up. Our civil liberty have a runoff election, right? Have everybody fucking put their candidate in and let everyone vote. And then the two with the highest, how many people would have voted for a third party but didn't because Trump is bad or Hillary is bad? How many people preferred Gary Johnson? And yeah, they wasted their vote. How many people preferred Ross Perot? And yeah, they wasted their vote. I'm sorry. Yeah, runoff election. Also, either vice president runs separately and people vote on it, or you fucking take the second highest voted person and make them vice president. Those are my two thoughts. Either way, I don't think the vice president should be appointed. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Worried? No. We have a right to privacy. Now, what I post on fucking public forums, got it. But my emails, my instant messages, my phone calls, my text messages should not be recorded. They shouldn't. Those are mine. I have a right to privacy. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Yes, I strongly agree. I'm not a huge fan of the death penalty. I'm not. I believe the prosecutor should push for it. And then after the person's convicted, right, then it shouldn't just be simple majority. Like, it should have to be unanimous by the jury and the judge and the prosecutor. I think that's a lot of things set up to prevent it, so that it would need to be a serious case. That, as well as the governor and the president, both have the ability to just say no. So yeah, yeah, I believe it should be an option. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. I don't believe that is a requirement of civilization. I believe that might be, in many ways, a form of government, but I think the people should be on top. Abstract art doesn't represent anything, and it shouldn't be considered art at all. Fuck you. First of all, why is that on a political test? And second of all, fuck you. All right? You can't tell me what's music. You can't tell me what's art. You can't tell me what's beautiful and what's ugly. You can't fucking tell me that the white sands of New Mexico aren't beautiful. Just like I can't tell you that the fucking rolling hills in Kentucky are beautiful. You make that up for yourself. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Ooh. Man, I'm pretty undecided on that one. I wish I could leave it blank. I think there should be more than one type of prison. I think drug prisons. Actually, I think you should legalize drugs, but I think violent crimes and sex crimes, send them here. And fucking other crimes go here, right? Actually, sex crimes should go to a very specific place. Violent crimes to another place. Money crimes, right? And I think there should be some prisons that are focused on rehabilitation and some that are focused on just punishing the shit out of the dude. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. No. There are Gary from Nerdrotic. You, sir, are a great example of someone who was in prison and has gone on to be a good, upstanding member of society, a good husband and good father. After prison show, APS Army, much love. Constantly giving examples of, yes, you can be saved. And some people, they fall off the wagon multiple times. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. More important. All right. Who is more important? Homer, who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. All this time later, still influencing and affecting us. Or motherfucker that invented the wheel. Damn it. I'm not going to say they're more important. But they are more utilitarian. I definitely think we have developed a celebrity obsession. And that's probably way more harmful than being obsessed with engineers and inventors. Like Elon Musk, way, way more important than Johnny Depp. Sorry. Mothers have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. No. No more so than a father's first duty is to be a homemaker. No, I don't buy that bullshit. There is no shame in being a housewife and being a homemaker. There is no shame in that. No fucking shame. And one major issue I have with feminism in its current iteration is shitting on women who want to be housewives and mothers and traditional or conservative. I don't agree with shitting on women who want careers. I don't agree with shitting on women who want to be mothers at home. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Probably, but there are also multinational companies that are ethically building and helping developing countries. So it seems like a weirdly one-sided statement to make. Making peace with establishment is an important aspect of maturity. No. Our president is anti-establishment, and look how much good he has done for the economy. Hell, peace in the Middle East. Astrology accurately explains many things. No. You can be moral without being religious. Yes. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. What? It's kind of the same thing. Some people are naturally unlucky. Sure. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. I don't know what's important about your school. A public school? No. Sex outside the marriage is usually immoral. Fuck morality. We're talking consensual sex. Fuck off. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility. Yeah, your sexual orientation or your sexual preference has no fucking say in who you are or how you should be treated. Consenting adults, pornography, yeah, legal. What goes on in a private bedroom, consenting adults, yeah, no one's fucking business. No one can feel naturally homosexual. What the fuck? I don't feel naturally homosexual. I don't know what you feel. So, what the fuck? What the fuck? These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I disagree. I think the politicizing sex has been very bad. All right. So, I am. What does it say I am? Okay. Let's see. Hitler, fascist, authoritarian. Stalin, same. I am. Look at that. I am a pretty center of the road anti-authoritarian. Look at that. I am farther left than most American politicians, and I am much more anti-fascist than most of Antifa. Actually, I would say than all of Antifa. So there you go. That is where I stand. I'm going to go ahead and clip this. Where's my fucking thing? There we go. Shave as compass. All right. So it's about 45 minutes of just boringness. But what do you think? Where do you stand on this? I'm not surprised. I generally fall in the middle. I think a lot of these questions were really, really weird and don't belong there. Questions like, okay, can someone feel homosexual? That doesn't belong there. There's no way to quantify that. And my opinion on that isn't an agree or disagree. It's a complete unknown. So fuck off. The government has no right to be involved in people's stuff. Gotcha. But how someone feels, that's a mistake. Through the Veil. Oh, thank you so very much for watching. I see I have 2 viewers. I'm not sure how many I had. I wasn't able to see the screen. I was taking that stupid fucking test. I would advise you to take the test. I don't think it's a perfect test. I think it is more fair than most would agree. I definitely think what people forget is left and right is not what a lot of you think it is. Left wing, lefties, isn't exactly the same as. So, economically, you're either uh, pro capitalism and anti capitalism, pro regulation or anti regulation. Being pro capitalist puts you to the right, and being pro regulation puts you to the left. Being socialist puts you to the left. Being communist puts you to the left. Communists with strong ideas on regulation will put you closer to the center. Yeah. And up and down is fascist or libertarian. And I'm strongly opposed to government involvement. Against fascism means you would agree. But these anarcho-communists, they they're like, oh, well, you think a business should be able to sell bottled water? You're a fascist. You don't know what that word means, clearly. Saying, I don't believe you have the right to sell this. It should be given and freely taken. That's not anarchy at all. That's seems a bit authoritarian to fucking put laws in place of what I can and can't sell. Fuck you. The whole point is I can do what I want. I'm not hurting anyone. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Anyways, I hope that this boring ass video did not put all of you to sleep. But yeah. Didn't surprise me at all. Are you surprised? Did you think I was going to be a top right corner, super authoritarian, whatever, alt-right? Tell you one thing, I am much to the left of Biden. Sadly, so is Trump. All right. Unrelated, but let me finish this up by saying this. Someone asked me to jump onto a debate on a debate stream on a channel, and I went to check it out, and the question was transgenders in the military. And okay, that's a subject that I'm very passionate about and tend to piss off a lot of people. But all right. And I bounce over, and man, they were talking about moon landings and uh, the United States government stealing oil from Afghanistan. And by the way, Afghanistan has no oil. They have lithium, and China stole that. Yeah, China's got this lovely habit of they keep moving the borders over a little bit. And I know people don't realize China and Afghanistan border each other. But yeah, I don't like debates. I don't like it. But I love conversations. So if anyone would ever want to uh, have a conversation about a subject that we disagree on, where we can respectfully insult each other's ideas and explain ourselves and hopefully learn a little bit from each other, then I'm game. But if you want to have some kind of fucking debate, internet blood sports, sorry, not my not what I'm interested in. That being said, in case you're curious, my stance on transgender military ban. I was not able to get surgery on my neck because it was going to put me out of commission for a time period that would not be beneficial to the military. So it was get out and let VA work on it. That way, you're not going to hold up the mission because mission comes first. If gender transition requires surgery and medication and various things, and that makes it so that you cannot deploy. And I know there's the argument of, yeah, but there's lots of jobs where you don't deploy. No, they did away with that. There are no jobs where you don't deploy anymore. Oh, the test. Political compass test in DuckDuckGo or whatever search engine you use. It is politicalcompass.org/test. I will. Yes, that's a very good idea. Can I do that without? Okay. If you're watching this on Twitter, you did not get the link. But yes, I absolutely should put that in the description. I'll do that. It's a good idea. Thank you, Captain Trek. So, if you have a bad knee injury and you're unable to deploy, there was a time where you could get a job working in a hospital. And they did away with that because it's not fair. You should fill those positions with people that can deploy and then rotate them out. That way, everyone deploys. If you're unable to deploy, then you can't. You're out. Not dishonorably. You're not kicked out like, oh, you loser. No, you're just. It's a volunteer military. No one has the right to join, but you cannot unfairly single people out. And yeah, if you are transitioning, you cannot serve. I'm sorry. If you're not transitioning and you just want to go by Mr. or Mrs., well, great news. In the military, they just call you by your last name. You're not Mr., you're not Mrs. You are Sergeant First Class Panda. You are fucking PFC Salt. Yep. They don't go by first name, just last name and rank. Uniform? Yeah. There is a unisex uniform. It's male. Men can only wear one uniform. Women can wear the men's uniform. Men can't wear the women's uniform. I personally think we should get rid of skirts and everything else. If you are a man and you want to live your life as a woman in the military, the only way you'll be persecuted against is you cannot grow your hair long like the other women. You cannot wear earrings like the other women while in dress uniform. That's it. Personally, I think they should end the hair policy, make it universal, and make the uniforms universal. Boom. Problem solved. Problem staying solved. But yeah, if you're transitioning, it should be treated just like diabetes or any other medical condition that requires medication or medical treatment. And that's what the military does. They don't give a shit about your transitioning other than how does it affect your job and what medications do you need. Sorry. Well, I believe that puts me close to the 1 hour mark. And again, I would advise everyone to take the political compass test. And Captain Trek, my man, thank you so very much for the suggestion. I will put that in the description. I can't believe I didn't do that already. Anyways, thank you so very much for all of you that have watched. Have a fantastic day or evening. And remember,